guys, how are you? Welcome to my modern homestead. I'm Janet, and today I'm doing another grocery haul because this one is different. Watch your finger, Alyssa, you got to get it in the lens. We have Thanksgiving coming up, and I've got a lot of canning and dehydrating that I want to get done to put stuff away. Because you never know what craziness is going to happen in our world today, and we live out in the country, so I always keep a good supply on hand. Now, this is what my grocery hauls used to look like because I would only go to town once a week or once a month, and this was totally normal for me. But it's not so normal anymore. So I just want to go through and show you what I got and talk a little bit about it, because some of this is for emergency purposes. Hey you guys, had to stop, pause. Let's talk about this video real quick. Let me finish writing this. Boneless, skinless chicken breast. Sorry, I was sealing up some of my chicken, and I was thinking, I had already planned to do a little snippet right here to explain this video a little more, but then as I was working, I got to thinking about other things I needed to say too, so I'm just going to pause right here in the middle of what I'm doing, and let's talk for a minute. Hold on. Alyssa makes the best coffee. Okay, now, before we get all the way into this video, let's talk about it. You guys, I'm not a prepper. I do believe in being prepared because I'm a mom. And it's important to me to know that my children and my family are taken care of if there's an emergency. And an emergency isn't always a natural disaster or pandemic. For us, because my husband is self-employed, emergencies can be he gets hurt and he's out of work, or there is no work. He drives a truck. We're very blessed right now that there is plenty of work and that keeps him busy as long as he stays well and stops falling off of trucks. But there have been plenty of times where he has sat at home for 2 months, almost 3 months, and things get tight and it gets worrisome. And I made a decision a long time ago to make sure we always have food on hand so that no matter what, my family is fed, and not just food, but personal care items, that kind of thing. So before we get into this, and before you start thinking about saving food or being a prepper, or me, a modern homesteader, that's part of what homesteading is to me, taking care of my family, providing for my family, and not having to depend on someone else or the government or anything else. So the biggest thing is you need to ask yourself why. What is your reason? Why do you want to save food? Why do you want to keep food? Because that's going to determine what type of things you store away. For example, chips. In an emergency, do you really need chips? No. And in fact, I want to tell you, when you're starting out to save food and to put food away, leave these alone. Any snack food, leave them alone because they won't last. This is just something where when times are rough and times are scary, sometimes, especially if you have kids, teenagers, it's a comfort to have a little bit of normalcy every now and then. But like I said, start with the essentials first. But think about things also like home care, cleaning supplies, dishwashing liquid, trash bags, alternative fuel. If you don't have power, we get ice storms here. We don't get a lot of snow, but I remember one year we were without power for about a week because of an ice storm. Hurricanes, where we are now, we have level 1 or category 1 hurricanes come through, and I've had friends go 2 weeks without power. So think about alternative heat sources, or I guess during a hurricane you wouldn't need a heat source, but during an ice storm or cold weather you would. How are you going to keep that heat source going? Water for toilets. Do you need to fill up a pool outside? Have a constant way to have water outside. You know, what level do you want to take this to? I'm not to that level. You know, if I know a storm is coming, I fill up tubs and that kind of thing, but right now I don't have a constant supply outside. Batteries, candles, do you need those type things in store? Cleaners, think about your cleaners. If you can't get to a store in a couple of months, do you have enough supplies to clean with to keep your water source clean if you don't have a clean source? Think about personal care items, special medicines, equipment. How are you going to keep that equipment running? Think about those things. First aid supplies, and again, you can take that to whatever level you want to. For us, we are 40 to 45 minutes from a hospital, so I had to kind of think things through. What would we need in an emergency? What are our essential supplies? And guys, these are type things I've had to ask myself since my children were little, before there was a worry of pandemics, before there was a worry of anything really. I was too young to even think through those things, but once my children came along, things started changing, and I wanted to make sure I had what I needed. Do you need gloves, wipes, feminine supplies, family planning supplies? Shh, close your ears. Soap, hair care like shampoo, products, skincare products, lotion if you have skin issues like my son did when he was little. You know, do you have the products you need to last you a couple of months if even your income source is gone? So I just wanted to, baby care. Oh my goodness, if you've got little babies and you don't nurse them, how are you going to feed them? Think about those things. So anyway, back to the video. I also forgot to mention in the video, I think there was one other thing I can't remember at the moment, but I didn't tell you about the rice. We have lots of rice here. Rice and beans are essential when you are storing up food. Get these type things, canned meats first, before you try to do snacks. Because remember, these don't last and they don't provide any nutrition. You can get good meals with beans and rice and canned meats. Power goes out, natural disasters, country goes crazy, and you run out of toilet paper, paper towels. So let's get started. Here are my favorite things I got. I got 2 things of cornmeal, 2 things of all-purpose flour. I meant to get 2 of these. This is all-purpose bleached. This is great for making the bread. And I have self-rising flour. I use a lot of this during Thanksgiving for muffins and whatnot. Now, these, some of this we'll use now, some of it's to put up. I have 3 taco kits, and I have taco seasoning mixes. I make my own, but I bought these just in case I can't find the spices I needed, because our store has been really sketchy in trying to find things that I need. I also have some gravy mixes. Again, I make my own brown gravy, I've shown you, but just in case, you never know what's going to happen. And it's just easy, guys, when you've got a long day. I got a little bit of oil. I don't use a lot of oil anymore. I have some canned peas. Also got baking soda. I did mean to get baking powder. Luckily, I have a couple cans, so I think I'm good on this for a while. And chickpeas. Make your own hummus. If you're in a situation where your power's out and you need some protein, something to fill you up, this is great. Manwich sauce, and we love salmon patties. I always keep this on hand. And I've got sweet potatoes because I want to use these for Thanksgiving and put some up. Let's keep going down here, baby. I have a couple big things of macaroni. I keep bottled stuff on hand, at least 1 or 2 bottles. That's just normal for me. I always do that. I have ranch dressing, barbecue sauce, Heinz 57, some honey mustard. I love making my own honey mustard, but sometimes I just need it quick and easy. Then up here we have Suddenly salad. We love that with a can of chicken. Speaking of which, I got 4 cans of chicken also. but we'll get to that. And some cream of chicken soup, a thing of mustard. Guys, I don't know what it is, but we go through mayonnaise like crazy. We used to not go through mustard, but we do now, so I have to keep at least 2 of these on hand, if not 3 at all times. What's that in front, baby, in front of that mayonnaise?
Tomatoes, diced tomatoes?
Diced tomatoes. I have some canned, but I've been using a lot lately, so I went ahead and bought an extra one.
And dark chocolate chips.
Alyssa's favorite, dark chocolate chips. I love these. Alyssa loves these plain. I like to put vegetables and chicken in with them. It's just the no yolk noodles. Now, the vegetables you see in the front, I'm really excited about these. I have some vegetables in my freezer, but guys, you saw in one of the previous episodes, I lost my freezer and I lost so many fruits and vegetables. These I'm actually going to dehydrate for long-term storage. They're great for soups, boil them as just a side. Lots of things you can do with them. I have 2 broccoli, 2 whole kernel corn, some mixed vegetables, and some peas. I also have riced cauliflower and some sliced squash. I have squashed canned, but I want to try dehydrating it just to see what happens. I also got some fruit to try, and spinach. I think I actually have 3 cans of spinach. Yeah, I've got 2 more over here. And I have 4 cans of tuna. I keep this on hand. When I shop, I try to do for at least a month, and I've got some in my pantry, so I have enough for a whole month. 1 can of tuna per week for lunch. Got some peanut butter. My husband and son go through the peanut butter. Some extra salt, and have milk because Thanksgiving. Let's see, we'll come back here. I keep so much spaghetti on hand because we just go through spaghetti. I bought a big box of mashed potatoes to put up. I have a box for now. These are just plain, but my family loves these, so I have 1 for now and 2 for later. And I keep dry beans. I have a whole basket beside my stove, and just periodically I buy a bunch of beans. This is 15 bean. I have 2 pounds of large limas, 2 pounds of lentils. I didn't know it, but my bag's got a cut in it. Got to put them up. And I have navy beans, 2 pounds of navy beans. My children go through ramen. So I bought 3 boxes of ramen, 1 for now, 2 to put up. Now, if there ever is an emergency and you're sitting around the house, you're bored, power's out, teenagers like snacks. So I bought a big thing of pudding. There are 12 packs of pudding in there. And then I like to keep these on hand. I'll get my shirt, I have flour all over me. These are sweetened cranberries and chopped or candy pecans. Those are so good on a salad. I also have 2 things of Jell-O. Oh, I didn't show you these. The smoked oysters. My husband and son eat those. He does what he calls a gourmet. It doesn't sound appealing to me, but hey, whatever works. He likes it. Also, toilet paper. You guys, when we ran out of toilet paper and paper towels, I was so worried because we didn't have very much, and we couldn't find it in the stores. That did something to me. I never want to be out of toilet paper again. So I always keep at least 2 packs on hand now. If I find it, you normally see me with a pack of toilet paper. I don't have massive stacks like some people do, but I do like to have about 2 packs on hand because you just never know anymore. I also have some plain pecans because Thanksgiving, and they're good. They're great protein too. Here we have the chicken. I think that's 4 cans. I have some in my pantry. And then my husband uses the Dells. There's more spinach and yeast, you guys. When we ran out of toilet paper and paper towels, you couldn't find yeast either. And if you make bread, you need yeast unless you're making a quick bread. So I have 1 in my pantry, and I bought 2 more because I don't want to be out again. I also got some Better Than Beef bouillon. I use it in all my cooking. I use it in canning. I also got some powdered chicken because when I dehydrate some of my vegetables, I'm thinking about making a dry soup mix for jars and go ahead and put that in there with some of the dried noodles. Voila, you have a meal in a jar. And our big boy here, here is our big old turkey because Thanksgiving. Now, when we're done with the turkey, I'll freeze whatever meat we don't use or eat, and then I will use the bones and whatever's left to make a stock with and can the stock. Think wisely, guys. And then a big sugar. We don't use sugar like we used to, but I figured if we had this, it was going to last us quite a while. It's a 10-pound bag. And then just 2 loaves of bread just because I have teenagers. All right, now we're going to go to the table and show you what else we got because it didn't all fit here. Okay, now these are 2 things I will keep buying to have on hand. Have bleach. There are so many purposes for it. If your water stops running and you just know if you know, you need bleach. I don't use it a lot, but sometimes you just need it. And vinegar. I also need to get a big apple cider vinegar. It's great for cleaning, canning, all sorts of purposes. And I also like to keep washing supplies on hand. So I went ahead because I actually needed it. I have a little bit of one left, so I just went ahead and got another thing of laundry detergent. I just started using these. My husband likes them in his clothes. My children like them, so these are not necessary. But hey, if you can, just pick up those little things you might not think about. This, I hardly ever buy it, maybe once a year. And I have one that's open, so just in case, I bought another stain remover. And also fabric softener. My husband insists I put that in his clothes when I wash them. And I also bought toothpaste. I bought different kinds because we all use different kinds. So I had a lot of that, personal care items. My husband is a truck driver. He likes to have wipes in his truck because he can't always get to a shower when he's on the road. But who wants to go around feeling yucky and dirty? So he uses those. Let's come on down here. I was so excited at the store today because probably the last 3 times I've been to the store, I could not find chicken breast. And they had them today, the big family pack. So I will be putting some of these in the freezer and using some this week. These are great for canning, guys. They are so quick and easy. If you had them on hand, already canned, pop a meal out just like that. But they also had the boneless, skinless thighs. These are much cheaper and they're so good. I like to cook them in a rice and pea mixture with some chicken broth. Oh my goodness. And I went ahead and got some thin cuts of boneless pork chops. We like these as a Sunday meal. I fry them up and put them on a sandwich. So good. And we also got some kielbasa. I couldn't find just a regular kielbasa. I got beef and a turkey. And then link sausage. And got a big thing of hot dogs. I'll break these down into 2 hot dogs a piece and freeze those. And bacon. I'm going to be brave, guys. This is not an approved thing, but I'm doing it anyway. I'm going to try canning bacon. So I got a big pack of bacon to try that out. Some of this I will keep out for meals, but I just want to try the canning. And then I have a lot of chips on hand because teenagers. You know, if something happens to our supplies, what you looking at, babe?
Pretzels.
Oh, pretzels. If something happens to the supplies in the grocery store, I know one day I went in and everything was wiped out. Even today, there were no Little Debbie's in bread. I mean, there was some bread, the store brand, but most of the bread was gone. And got a big thing of shredded cheese. and 2 things of cream cheese. And, oh, we got a water too, a big case of water. That's just normal, everyday stuff, but that's great to keep on hand. We have a well here, so we always use a hand pump if we need to, if we were to lose power in an emergency. So, anyway, thank you for coming along. Keep an eye out because we'll be doing projects with some of the vegetables. So, until we meet again, may you be blessed.
Thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe or comment or share or all of the above.